Morning guys, welcome back to Lick Branch Farms. As you can tell, it's a little bit cool in the barn this morning. Yesterday it wasn't all that bad. It was in the 60s, upper 60s yesterday. And in you seen in the opening, I got out there in the garden and actually terminated some of the winter crops that we had in. And I took the weed eater out there, cut all the mustard back down to the ground so we can get some benefits from the biomass and you know, some of the soil protection it's gonna give us. Well, I got a shipment of seeds in yesterday and kind of wanted to go through some of these and show you what we're getting ready to start. So we've got a ton of lettuce seed that just came in. We got our summer crisp varieties that we normally plant, which are Cherokee, Magenta, and Myrrh. And we also got a few that I haven't tried before that we're gonna plant, and we're probably gonna start those today. We got the mini romaine varieties. I think you pronounce that Tricasse, Breen, and Dragon. We're gonna probably get those started in trays today. And we also got some of our butterheads, which are Nancy, Starfighter, and Red Cross. So we got those from Johnny's. We got those from Johnny's. And I've also got some seeds in from Hoss. We had loaded up on some things that I know usually are hard to get later on in the season. We got the National Pickling Cucumber, which we won't be starting those anytime soon. We got a ton Cherokee Purples. This seed here is extremely hard to get a hold to right now. Hoss has it. I think Johnny's is out of it, a couple more places, but we got some flower seeds that we're gonna be starting here pretty soon. We got dwarf zinnias, and we got marigolds. So the guy that's going to be buying some plants from us this year, he sells a lot of flowers. He's got a big setup to where he puts them outside, and he told me that his biggest day for flowers is Mother's Day weekend. So we're going to try to get some things started early. I'm going to look at the calendar and see you know, exactly when we got to get these guys in trays so they'll be ready and blooms, you know, real pretty, so he can get those out. But I got those. And I also got my other shipment of cauliflower in, so we're gonna be starting them. All total today, we're looking at getting probably close to 6, maybe 9 trays started. And I kind of wanted to give you guys an update on the broccoli and the cabbages that we started last week. Let you see where they're at. All right, guys, this light's probably gonna mess with this camera a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. All of these are cabbages. That's storage number 4, Typhoon, and Capture. All those have been in trade for 1 week, and you can kind of see how big they are. Now these are the broccolis. This is the Marathon. This is the Green Magic. Now I want you to look at this one. This is the Imperial. And I know you probably barely can see that, but see the difference in these and these. Well, there's a reason for that. With these 162s, I can only get 3 trays in these upper racks, and on these bottom racks where I got the heat mats. So this guy spent most of his days down here. And you can see I got this one. This is Snow Crown. I've moved it off of the heat mat and put it in here. You can see how great germination. Seedlings look real good. And I'm looking through the tray and it's almost 100% germination in there. I don't see but maybe 1 or 2 cells that are empty. But yeah, you can see the height of those guys compared to this dude here. So it did germinate. The seeds did germinate. So we're gonna give them a week or so on the heat mat and see if they can catch up with the rest of these guys. Overall, I think everything's doing great. We should be right on track. So I can move some of these broccoli starts into this little greenhouse on this upper rack under the lights. Since they've already germinated, they don't need as much heat. And plus this little thing here, whenever you know you zip it up, it gets real humid and it actually holds heat pretty well with these fluorescent lights on the top. So, and these are LEDs on the bottom. So they don't give off a whole lot of heat, but those fluorescents do. And that's what generates the heat for this rack inside of this one. I had 4 trays of beets in here. They're outside hardening off right now. As cool as it is, I think it's 40 degrees outside. So, you know, beets are a pretty hardy plant, so I'm not too much worried about them. But we are going to be getting some dirt sifted here shortly. Let me get this camera set back up. We're going to be sifting some soil here in a little bit. I've got some 128s from Bootstrap Farmer that I think we're going to start the lettuce in. And I don't know if I got enough 128s. We may have to put some in 162s. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're going to get whatever we can get in the heat racks today. We're going to start. And I'm thinking we're probably going to have enough room for at least 8, maybe 9. I don't know. I can fit 5 smaller trays in here where I can only fit 4 to 162. So we may have to make a little bit of room. All right, guys. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on the soil that we've been using. You seen it in the video last week. We bought this bale called Sunshine, or yeah, Sunshine Mix number 4. And it's good looking stuff. But I'm gonna give you an idea of what you're getting when you buy this. Now look, I'm not forcing it down into the screen. I'm just raking it across the top, breaking up this clump. And if you look, these right here are not really, that's not really bark. That's coconut fiber, it feels like. But I got 1 stick, and I got what looks like a little bit of pine straw. Well, there's 2 sticks, and that coconut fiber. Which coconut fiber, I mean, we'll put it in there. That's not a bad thing. And then we're going to the Sun Grow, which is made by the same company. We're gonna put a stick of that in, and we're gonna do the same thing, so we can see what the difference is on the media. And as you can see, you got bigger sticks. There's a lot of bark, and I mean that's basically what's left over, and that's just about every scoop. About every scoop, that's what we have to deal with. So, is it worth it? Yeah, totally. I mean, this here, we will probably use more for like our trays that we're getting ready to start plants on, or we're going to sell. Now, you know, I got these right here ready for what we're going to offer for customers as a, you know, you take it out of there and plant it in your garden. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get ready to put some cabbage in those here next couple of days. I got to get some cabbage ready to sell. But yeah, for stuff like this here, we would put the Sunshine Pot Mix number 4 straight in here, and so once those come up and get up to size of where we can harden them off, we'll be able to get rid of those pretty quick. But like the Sun Grow, the professional mix, you know, we can mix it too and use them for our own starts, because they're coming out of these trays going to go in the garden. And we want to give them, you know, every opportunity to be as good as they can while they're in here. A lot of times these seedlings spend majority, I mean, at least half of their life in this tray. That's just, you know, growing in the wintertime or growing in early spring around here, and that's the way it is. You get a plant that matures in 55 days, it's going to spend half its life in these trays. All right, guys, so we're going to get ready to put some dirt in some trays and get some lettuce started. These 3 varieties here all range from 48 to 52 days maturity. So they grow really fast. We're going to get these guys in, I'm thinking the 128s, because we will use a lot of this lettuce. And I'm thinking that the 162s we'll use for the mini romaines. And then I got some cauliflower we're going to get started too. But we're going to take the soil outside and we're going to get them in trays, get everything watered in, get it tamped down, and we'll bring them in, we'll get some seeds started. These lettuce seeds are very tiny. I'm going to have to put my specs on so I can see what I'm doing with them, and then we'll get them watered in, get them on the heat mats. All right, guys, so we got the lettuce, the butterhead lettuce, in trays started. Got it watered in. We're gonna let it sit out here for a little bit. We got Starfighter, we got Red Cross, and we got Nancy in those trays there. So I'm getting ready to get a 162 ready for amazing cauliflower. The other tray of cauliflower we got is Snow Crown, and we got a 162 of it, so we want to make sure we got about equal amounts. And then I've got 3 mini romaines that we're going to get started, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do those in. I may do them in 128s. I don't necessarily need a whole 162 of it, but we'll see what we got when we get done. All right, guys, I'm going to try to get down here out of the sun so you can see what we're doing down here in elephant garland plot, weeding this rascal. And it's not bad. I mean, it's all the stuff that comes up when you get a good warm day. You see, this is where we're starting. Them little weeds there. And after I get done cultivating, that's what it looks like down through here. And this stuff is looking pretty good for it to be only February. I'm counting, most of them have 5 leaves, and you can see they're burnt from the frost and the freeze, but that'll go away. I mean, they'll actually prune themselves like this, and it'll grow back out. But majority of them are looking really good, like this dude here. There's 6 on that. And we got some that didn't make it. You can see the gaps down here, but for the most part, they're looking really good. We got the Chesnok red over there, which doesn't look like it is got as many weeds as the elephant garlic does, but we're gonna cultivate both rows. We may not get to the onions today, but I'm gonna do both the garlic rows today, cultivate them, fertilize them, and I'm gonna turn the sprinklers on just for a little bit to let it incorporate some of that into the soil, and then we should see a difference in them next week after these warm days. We got some, I don't know, about a week's worth of 60-degree weather. I think it's gonna rain Monday or Tuesday, but the rest of the week, lows getting down to upper 30s, low 40s, and highs getting into the 60s, bumping 70 degrees. So this garlic and onions are going to benefit a lot from that. So I'm gonna get down here and finish this one row, go ahead and fertilize it, and then get started on that Chesnok red. All right, guys, so we got everything cultivated. Well, we got 2 rows of garlic cultivated anyway. The elephant garlic and the Chesnok red. And what we're gonna do is go down through here with some high nitrogen fertilizer. This is a 3400. You can see what I got here. And I'm gonna go down through here and just sprinkle it in. Try not to get it on the plant itself, but more in between them. And like I said, we're gonna come back and turn the sprinklers on and kind of water this in. I'm not really worried about putting too much on them because the nitrogen uptake is a lot less in the wintertime when it's cold. So some of this stuff will just sit dormant in the soil. If not, it'll evaporate. But right now we're trying to put about 10 pounds in a 50-foot row. And like I said, when we get it in here, we'll turn the sprinklers on and wet it down real good, so kind of get blended into the soil real good. But yeah, it's probably doing about 8 pounds per cup. We got a little bit farther to go, so we'll get a little bit more. Finish this row up. All right, so we'll do the Chesnok red now, and then we'll get these sprinklers turned on. All right, guys, so everything is fertilized, and we actually just turned the sprinklers on. Water everything in. We ain't gonna run them too long. It's long enough to kind of incorporate some of that fertilizer in the soil. But yeah, it's pretty damp right here right now, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Like I said, you can see where we cultivate it and dry it out pretty good. It's pretty good soil right here. We put that compost on it, I think it was last spring, and worked it in, and really didn't plant anything in this plot till we planted okra late in the year. And so it's probably in pretty good shape. And you can look out there and see how well this stuff is growing anyway. So we got to get this plot right here ready. Me and Jason's fixing to go up here and empty this trailer. I'll give you guys a shot of that where we've been cleaning off for that greenhouse up there. That trailer's full of wood, and we're gonna bring all that down here and pile it up in this garden. And we're gonna probably burn it off tomorrow. The wind's blowing a little bit too hard for that today, so we're gonna make a couple piles out here and burn it off, and then utilize that wood ash. It'll do this garden some good. All right, guys, so here's how far we are right now. All this area you see here, from that stake to that stake is 30 feet. And I'm thinking to make it even, we're going to go 32 feet. So all we really like is that little area of trees right there, and then all this will be done. And then I'm thinking next weekend I'm gonna bring the skid steer home. We'll start digging stumps, start leveling everything off. We got this trailer full here. We're gonna take it down there what I was talking about earlier in that little garden plot. And we're gonna burn all of this, and I got another pile right here. Goats are munching on it right now. But we're gonna burn all that in that one little plot, and hopefully utilize that wood ash and in that one garden plot. So as of right now, the plan is to have a 20 foot wide by 32 foot long greenhouse, and then utilize this area here this year for garden space. And we'll probably use it for peppers or tomatoes or lettuce or something in a row crop form in this area here. And then maybe next year we'll put another 20 by 30 and then just keep going down the line. I think we can squeeze 3 of them in here. But this one in particular is only going to be used for a nursery. This is where we're going to utilize, you know, our starts and all that stuff to put in the big garden and to put in whatever row crops. Because I got plans, I don't know if it'll happen this year, maybe next year, to clear all that where you see behind the tractor to 100-foot depth. And then I got a corner lot right there. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to get an acre out of that. And then I got on that side of the barn back 100 feet and then put a cornfield behind that. So I got plenty of room for garden space. There ain't no problem there. It's just going to take some time to get everything cleaned off and get the soil mended and all that good stuff. That turkey's been acting crazy today for some reason. But anyway, 20 by 30 nursery. And then once we get this stuff right here cleaned off, we'll have all that area we can utilize for garden space. So guys, we're gonna get off here and get started, cut some trees and put that stuff in the garden. But if you hadn't already, reach over here in this corner and click that subscribe button and click the bell notification so you get notified every time we put out a video. As always guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next one.